Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great morning. Today is Thursday, October 4th. And it's been a pretty productive morning when it comes down to some of the trades that we've been taking. Sorry, 1 second real quick. Here we go. Opening the chat so I could see what all you guys are saying. I want to be part of the fun today. Here we go. Let me delete this one. All right, sweet. So we're starting the live stream a little bit early. Normally it starts at around 6:30 exactly, but I've taken a couple trades during pre-market hours, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and I'm gonna start sharing this real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. So I think that should be good, just so I could say what's up to you guys. So how are you guys all doing this morning? Are we all doing good? So JDST today, I'm waiting. I'm actually, okay, I'm just gonna, how do you buy before market opens? So it's called, or it's just during, what's it called? During extended hours. So pre-market or after market. One thing, if you've ever tried to submit your limit order during pre-market hours, if you're in TD Ameritrade, you guys all have access to it. There we go. Nice little push up. I barely got filled. I got filled with 1,100 shares. And yeah, at an average price here. I'm also going to show you my position on DGAS. I was able to lock in profits originally when it pushed up to highs of 14.90. I sold at 14.88. It sold off. Again, I saw a very consistent pattern. It sold off. It started to consolidate or peak out where it showed signs. So it pushed up, pulled back, pushed up. And then on this little peak, I saw that it started peaking out and started to descend. I waited for one red candle confirmation, something like I've explained in the course. And then I saw this thing starting to bounce. I got filled at, what was it? I didn't get filled with my full-on position. I got filled with or I could pull it up here. Where are my orders? So buy. Yeah, so I got filled with 600 shares instead of, I think I was trying to buy with a lot more, like 1,800 shares or something like that. So as of right now, it's showing signs of a descending pattern. Market opens in about 1 hour and 30 minutes. I want to see where JNUG is at. Yeah, so showing signs of a resistance very close to 790, right? So we could go based off of pre-market hours. It doesn't look like I'm going to get filled with my full-on position. I tried to get filled with 2,500 shares, which would put me a little bit under $20,000 of a position size. As of right now, I'm still up on my position, very little, obviously, and my position size is only 1,100. So roughly, that's, I want to say, a little bit less than $10,000, right? So you guys could, do the math. It's about 1/3 of what my normal position is. I wouldn't say that, again, it's during pre-market hours. It was more just for fun to see if I could squeeze in a little bit, of profit. It looks like there's 41 seconds until the market opens. That is not true, Don. But let's see, So JDST, I'm winning. So the only thing that I wanted to talk to you about is to understand, this is all I was doing during pre-market hours. I was trying to understand direction. /GC is showing signs of an uptrend pattern. That's why I'm in on DGAS. So I'm going to change this. There's 15 seconds left. And what I'm going to do is, again, I'm just going to move this up a little bit higher. So I'm going to move it up here, send it. Here we go. Nice little push up. Let's see. All right, filled. 82, 80. And again, / so DGAS itself, where is this at? So DGAS is still selling. I want to see where TNDM is at. JNUG, I'm going to set my alert for as it gets closer to that top VWAP indicator. So it's having a little bit of sell-off. Where is it at? TNDM, JDST. Yeah, JDST is a little, I think, in my eyes, what's it called? Bearish on the day. For forward slash GC, I just saw a lot of consolidation, so I thought, it's worth a scalp right now. UGAS should be peaking out. I would wait for rejection confirmation, and then DGAS might be a good scalp if you see the opportunity cost to be worth it. So here we go, TNDM with a, again, sell off, just like we see every morning. And so forward slash GC is trending up, and that's why I'm on DGAS. Wait, I'm sorry. Forward slash GC is trending up, but that's why I took a position on JNUG. I apologize. But I saw some consolidation happening on natural gas, right? So again, just horizontal pattern. So it was very easy for me to identify the low points and the high points, which then allowed me to scalp, DGAS and UGAS if I wanted to. So as of right now, based on previous patterns, it makes sense as it gets closer to the, $70 to $60 price point on why that could be a good scalp as long as this horizontal pattern continues. Here we go, nice little push up, and this is with my full-on position, so which is $20,000, which is about 2/3 of what my normal position is. I'm just gonna have my order ready to sell, and then we can go from there. So DYAS showing signs of a potential recovery. Let's check it out. There we go. So JDSC is continuing to drop today. Hopefully it picks up over the next week. Yeah, I mean, if DGAS, wow, holy moly, that was unexpected. Congrats to all those that are in DGAS. Forward slash NG just got rejected. So huge push up. This again, don't be afraid to lock in profits during pre-market hours. $14.90 was to $15 was a resistance, so it makes sense on why it would pull back. Again, you could always buy back in if it continues to uptrend. Just something that we might want to take into consideration. You guys know that I'm always going to tell you to lock in profits, but yeah. Forwards, holy moly! Oh, looks like I took the wrong position today, or locked in profits at the wrong time. So DGAS, wow, data. Okay, Rust just broke above its resistance. There we go. Really nice push up. Again, just know that you could always get back in. Just a friendly reminder. JNUG just pushed above its resistance. Here we go. There we go, a nice little push up for JNUG. There we go. Forward slash NG is just selling off very aggressively right now. So it makes sense on why this thing is pushing up. How much has that covered? Yeah, it's definitely pushing up very aggressively. I think I just removed JNUG from my watch list. That's a little not okay. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna sell. Dang it. You see, this is why I need to watch it. Do you guys see that it pushed up to 790? And I should have locked in profits then. So maybe it's just better if I just sell with a limit order. And I really don't care for the 790 exactly. I mean, like obviously that would be great, but yeah, it's getting rejected now. Perfect. Yeah, there it goes. DGAS with that pullback. Obviously, it makes sense. So hit highs of 1530, pulling back a little bit, looking at forward slash NG. Just ask yourself, are you getting a good deal? And if so, great. Then also ask yourself, is it a good time to sell? If so, then maybe something that you might want to take into consideration when to lock in profits. So here we go, pretty aggressive sell-off. Here comes the recovery. Okay. How many people just made some profits on DGAS? Or how many people have locked in profits? cut some losses from it. Okay, so it recovered a certain amount and you felt comfortable locking in profits to an extent on that, right? Okay, I got filled at 7887, so not bad, right? And there it goes, 7889 and 790, $164 profit. Not bad for a very quick little day trade. That was within the first 6 minutes, right, of the market opening. So altogether, I'm a little shy of my daily goal, right? So DGAS, I'm up a decent amount, so $309, and then on JNUG, right, the 164. So I'm going to keep it very simple. I just want to focus on whatever's actively trending up, and there it goes, pushing up. Okay, so congrats to all those that are still in JNUG. Super happy for you guys. Again, just friendly reminder, nothing's wrong with locking in profits, but yeah. So let's check this out. Wow. This thing's really going. It's trying to bounce. I like it. So I want to check out forward slash. Yeah. So we're approaching that support. Yeah, it's still selling off. Just going to keep it simple, nothing too aggressive. I'm just going to have it ready for when I see a breakout. But I don't necessarily mean a full-on breakout, but for it to start and showing signs of it making higher highs, right? For it to like break above 1540 and continue to trend up. So right now, there's a descending MACD, right? NKE just broke below its support, something we want to take into consideration. So we might be due for a pullback before it continues to push up. TNDM showing signs of a recovery. JDST, so JNUG just pushed above. Nice. I think we're doing a really good job focusing on whatever's actively trending up, right? So I really like that. Again, TNDM is trying to show signs of a recovery. The MACD looks good, the RSI looks good, but it's trading again more in between the middle and bottom VWAP, and I just don't find that to be as attractive. You just have to ask yourself, like, is the risk worth it with all these other stocks that are showing signs of an uptrend? Is it really worth it? How the heck did this one get in my watch list? I don't know, but here we go. Nice little pullback. Again, this one's showing signs of an uptrend pattern, so it makes sense on why this thing can continue to uptrend. So there it goes, selling off. I like it. So again, don't be afraid to lock in profits on JNUG. Definitely showing signs of an uptrend. Just make sure you keep a close eye on /GC. And also, again, it makes sense on why it's due for a pullback. Look how overextended it is. And, just be realistic with yourself. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, for all those that are tuning in right now, does it make sense, right? We're trading JNUG. JNUG is pushing up, /GC is pushing up. It makes sense, right? Why it's due for a pullback. It's overbought, due for a pullback. Overbought, due for a pullback. And again, why did I buy when it was showing signs of an uptrend? Because it was above the EMA line and I waited for the confirmation. Let's just keep it very simple. Oh wow, DGAS recovered right away. That was a nasty recovery. /NG. Yep, got rejected right away. There it goes. Ooh. Ah. There we go. So natural gas just broke its support, right? So, and that's of 19. So we might see a little bit more of an aggressive sell-off right now. So if you guess gets the natural gas support, will degas go down? Well, of course, yeah. So it 100% can continue to downtrend, and that's why we're trading it right now before the natural gas report comes out. When the natural gas report comes out, I won't be trading it. Like I won't have an active, position on it. It's just not something that I would feel comfortable risking and stuff like that. So, and that's just my 2 cents. I've talked about it multiple times. It doesn't mean that you have to follow or listen to any of it. So wow, TNDM did a really nice job. It broke above the middle view up, and it pushed up to highs of about 35.73. So it's showing signs of a potential uptrend, but again, it's just a little sketchy to me how inconsistent like TNDM has been. So that's why I'm stepping away for a little bit. So right now, again, I would keep a very close eye on this right now. It's still showing signs of it moving up. And again, forward slash GC and JNUG don't follow each other exactly. So it's something that, again, I do want you to remind yourself that they don't follow each other exactly. I feel like natural gas and UGAS and DGAS follow each other much, much better. What about DWT? Yeah, forward slash CL was selling off, right? So where's that at? Forward slash CL, yeah, it's selling off, making lower lows. So UWT, UWT is the one that, yeah, is selling off. So DWT is the one that should be pushing up 100%. Makes sense, right? So forward slash, so we should see that then Gush should be trending up. No, what the, yeah, no, it's recovering. And then Drip is the one that's selling off, and then WTI should be down, yeah. Let's see. So yeah, DWT is the one that's showing more signs of an uptrend as of today. So, and then again, that one follows very closely to forward slash CL. So again, it makes sense. Like just follow the pattern of whatever is actively trending up, and I think we should be good. So forward slash NG, again, showing signs of a downtrend pattern. So it makes sense on why we're paying attention to. Doesn't mean that you have to trade it, but it makes sense why people are paying attention to DGAS, right? And then when it comes down to, forward slash GC, it's showing signs of an uptrend, showing signs of a peak formation. So again, I'd be very iffy about that. So I think that this thing can sell off, and I think that then JNUG can drop back down to maybe like 780, 770, something around there. So again, one of the best things that we can do is just be patient for our, entry. So let's check it out. Dylan is asking, why did natural gas dive so far? Does it normally do this before the natural gas report? No, not at all. That's, again, it just has to do, I think, based on technicals. It was a little bit more on the overbought side. There's no news that I read about it. But no, it doesn't normally sell off before the report. Sometimes it's bullish, sometimes it's bearish. But yeah. So good morning. What's going on, Paul? What's going on, Carlos? What'd you ask? Oh, thanks. No, of course. Forward slash GC became a new pump. Yeah, let's check that out, Julian. So NKE, I did see that NKE was selling off not only today but yesterday as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I wouldn't call this. So would you call this like at this sell-off? So you're saying below the SMA line, right? So Julian, would you call this, if it falls below the SMA line, to be a break-of pattern, right? Looking at previous patterns, again, these indicators, these SMA lines, they really mean nothing. They mean nothing to the actual stock itself. They're indicators that we use to have a better understanding, so we can use them as references, right? To have a better understanding of what's maybe a potential support, what's a potential resistance, but it truly means nothing. It's just a line that's on our graph, but it doesn't mean it actually means anything to Nike itself. So with that understanding, that's why I call them like psychological price points, because sometimes they sell off a little bit more, than than the SMA line. But sometimes it also does push up a little bit more than the normal ascending uptrend pattern. So I wouldn't call this to be a breakout pattern. I would if it continues to make lower lows, so if it continues to sell off and make lower lows and it's showing signs then of a peak formation, then that makes sense, right? But it's still selling off. It might have missed the SMA line around that general area, but as long as it stays around that general area, I would just keep a close eye on it, and that's all, right? So if you're not actively taking a position on it, it's in that good buy territory or price range, but it doesn't mean it's a good buy right now since its direction is still moving up. So it just means that we probably just have to watch it a little bit closer. So I'm just going to set my alert right here. And then wait for that reversal. So I think that's pretty fair to say. I'm open to any opinions or tips that you guys want to share as well. UWT with that pullback. Yeah, UWT is definitely the one that's the ascending uptrend pattern. So I think Don said he has a limit buy at 48. Again, that's a little scary for me just because it has sold off but before below the EMA line, but it definitely makes sense on why it can sell off to that point. So I'll just watch it very closely and see what direction it starts to move. But yeah, definitely did pull back a little bit today. So should I sell? Should you sell what? What was that? Oh, did it just get deleted? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Nice little push up. That means that DGAS got rejected. Wow, really nice push up. Look at that recovery. Sweet, Dalton, super happy to hear that. Thank you. Locked in 5% with BAC, Bank of America, right? Oh, Bank of America. Really nice push up. Wow, it's been showing signs of an uptrend pattern. This is the one that was selling off, right, for a couple days. Yeah, it was selling off, and we did talk about this on the sell-off and that it could get rejected by this SMA indicator as its earnings coming up. So super happy to see that it played out according to your plan, Vols. So that's so sweet. Does that make sense? So again, it sold off, broke above the EMA line, pushed up, pulled back, showed signs of an uptrend confirmation, and that's 2.6%, but again, coming down here, yeah, closer to 5%, so that definitely makes sense. Oh, could this just have been a pullback confirmation, and then can natural gas continue to uptrend? Maybe, right? Are you talking about the 30-day challenge for like buying and reselling cars? It's starting to show signs of it making higher highs. It's not getting rejected. So what is your opinion on the natural gas report favorite? I never favor either one of them. I don't hold it, so it doesn't mean anything to me. Just check it out. Okay. So I see Don says he's in at 48.30. I still see, and this is just in my eyes, I still see UWT still showing signs of a descending pattern. It looks like the top middle VWAP is acting as a resistance, bottom is acting as a support. So Still showing signs of a descending pattern. It makes sense on, again, why around this general area it can bounce, so like around that $48, 40, the high 47s, low 48s, why it can bounce around there. It's just, there's no confirmation, and the MACD is still descending. The RSI is still pretty overextended. So I'm just gonna watch it, and we can kind of go from there. So I'm gonna set my alert. But yeah, let's follow up. Yeah, let's. Super happy to hear that you're doing well, Ali. I just want to make sure that, again, you complete the course though. So again, we want to make sure that you understand every position that you take, um, and not just get lucky along the way, right? So what studies are you using on Thinkorswim? Again, I have all this on the course, so I don't know why a lot of these questions are being asked. Sweet. Here we go. Diaz again, showing signs of it being, or natural gas showing signs of it trying to recover. UWT broke below support. Here we go. Still showing signs of a sell-off. Let's see. I'm just gonna have my position ready to sell, and then watch natural gas. Sweet. So I'm super happy to hear that. Yeah, let me go ahead and check it out for you. CPRT. Okay, so as of right now on the day, it's showing signs of a downtrend. Oh, so this is Copart. I'm very familiar with this website. It was showing signs of a very consistent uptrend pattern. What's it called? Its earnings came out, huge sell-off, right? So you might want to look into that and what caused that sell-off. See if it's detrimental to the company, just like we covered in the course, right? It's showing signs of a potential reversal. Ooh, UWT with a really nice pop-up. What's it called? CRPT with a potential reversal. I would still just wait a little bit more for a confirmation of it, pushing up, making higher highs, pulling back, making higher lows and stuff like that. So I think that'd be really something to keep a very close eye on. So yeah, UWT again, probably getting rejected, or no, UWT peaking out again. So we'll see if it comes back close to that $48 price point. So are we getting that consolidation and then that potential reversal? We'll see. So JNEG again approaching a price point where it's a little bit more on the overbought side based on yesterday's patterns. So again, it did a really hard, or it did a very just hard job like holding above $8. Obviously today it's bullish rather than bearish. So we could still see a little uptrend. Just understand like as we're getting above $8 based on previous patterns, and you can do like a 5-10 day analysis and see that that's just a price point of where it struggles to hold above that a little bit more. So yeah, that's just, I would just keep a close little eye on that. Yeah, but as of right now, so Bonehead, one of the things that I think like we could do like worse right now is like we see that JNEG is definitely, I would take a look at forward slash GC, right? So at the 1 day 1 minute chart, we could see that it's definitely bullish on the day, right? It's not showing any signs of a rejection as of now. It's not making lower lows or anything like that. So although it's overextended, it doesn't mean that it's going to pull back. That's like the two difference, right? So just because something's overbought, it means that it could consolidate all day, and that means that you could be in JDST all day with, with JNEG still being bearish, I mean bullish, and then JDST still being bearish and no movement to be done. So it's a lose-lose in that scenario. So that's why I think confirmation is so important. Just, yes, we understand that JNEG is a little bit more overbought. JDST is due for a nice little pop-up. We don't know if that's going to come today, and we just have to, acknowledge that. So all right, Ricky fell asleep. No, I'm just watching natural gas. Natural gas showing signs of it potentially experiencing a resistance right around 322 based on that middle VWAP. So, did it look like I was sleeping? Oh, if I was sleeping, I'd be completely out. Trust me, if I'm sleeping, you guys would know. TNDM, nice little push up. Really nice push up. So from lows of 34.50 to highs of about $36. That's huge. 4%. Definitely, and just watch out for those resistance. They got rejected last time. And it did act as a resistance before, but it's obviously pushed above that. So again, I would just lock in profits and then wait for an overall reversal and then go back to that. Damn, UWT is pushing right back down. So again, it looks like it's consolidating. What's the margin here? It's about 1%. So there we go. It's trying to recover. We'll see what happens for this. Looks like it got rejected, but it can still 100% continue to push up. So not really doing as much there. Forward slash GC just broke below support. JNEG should start selling off. Dingleberry /NG. Am I a coffee person? No, I never drink coffee. For that, oh my goodness. TNDM with a nice little pullback. Still showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern a little bit more on the overbought side. So again, this might be due for a pullback. I'm just going to set my alert for this one. I just want to stay up to date for the infamous TNDM. Here we go. Showing signs of a bounce again. So it looks like $48 is showing signs of a support. $48.50 as of right now. Resistance offers a 1% margin, so nothing huge. But also check out that MACD. Might still continue to sell off before it continues to uptrend. So people asking about AMD again. AMD selling off, showing signs of a descending pattern between the middle and bottom VWAP, right? So what is it? It's getting rejected. It's been making lower lows every day, has it not? Yeah. There's no signs of a reversal. There's signs of consolidation. But again, you guys all know this. You guys should all know this. I've made numerous videos in the course about it, and I also made a video on YouTube about it. So there's no reason that no one should know about the 3 stages of a reversal, regardless if it's something that you would see a value or not. But if you're talking about like, hey, is this a good time to buy? Well, no, the EMA line is still pointing down. Like, yes, it's consolidating, but it keeps getting rejected by that EMA line, so it can continue to sell off before it even starts to bounce. So I would just be very selective with when you choose to get in on this one, and as it has a lot of margin to sell off. So even if you were to get in even above the EMA line, I'd still be very iffy about holding it for a long period of time or just going fully invested with a large position, as I think that it can still sell off. So a day trade for AMD. If I'm not mistaken, AMD still, it's showing signs of a downtrend intraday. So why would that, out of every stock out there, why would this be a day trade? Have you identified a support or resistance? Like, this is descending, it's making lower lows. So what about it is showing you that this, out of everything that's actively trending up, like, why this one? If you have a reason, all power to you. But if you don't, then it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, AMD yesterday though was as a day trade. It made sense because it was like, showing signs of an uptrend. So maybe if it starts to try to recover later throughout the day, then yeah, of course that would make sense. But as of right now, it's in between the middle and bottom view up and making lower lows. That doesn't make sense. So once it starts making higher highs like this, then yeah, of course. We made 2%. My goodness, that's pretty aggressive. Come on, D-Gas, come on. Come on, D-Gas, come on. What do you guys think? What do you guys see on /NG right now? /NG, yeah, I thought I said something else. /NG. What do you guys think? How does it look? So we talked about the 3 stages of a reversal, and we usually focus on a reversal when something gets rejected, consolidates, and peaks out, right? I see this to be a little bit different, right? And the 3 stages still apply as something is showing signs of an uptrend. It's showing signs of an uptrend, right? So we'll draw the, ascending support and resistance line. I think that's very easy to identify, right? So ascending uptrend pattern, my mouse works. Then we get the consolidation. Work, come on. Oh, what am I drawing? Okay. And then now the potential rejection, right? Goodness. Don't you love when your mouse doesn't work? So that would be the channel in which I would, this thing's frustrating. This Apple mouse, although like I like how sleek it is and stuff like that, these buttons, like, although they make the design like super clean and sleek, there's no buttons, and it's not, I don't know if I have a defective one, but it's even ones that I've tried that like my friends have had. It's not very effective. Yeah. So I like how sleek it looks and all that stuff, but man, it's a dingleberry. Oh, no worries. So I might have to invest in a new mouse. No canes for me today. Michael still owes me like 10, 12 meals. So we're chilling. If only you guys would see us, like we work in the morning, right? And then we take like maybe like a 30-minute or an hour break and we just play ping pong upstairs. There we go. /NG rejection. I like it. Come on, Diaz. And it is honestly the most hilarious thing because I can't even tell you guys like what we bet for and stuff like that, and it's mainly food, but it's definitely a fun time being with these guys and just hanging out. Talk about the workout routine that allows you to eat Chipotle daily. I'm honestly the least qualified person, so you guys know that I'm very like thin, right? Very skinny, and I'm very tall. I have a very fast metabolism, and yeah, I mean, although like I'm very blessed that I don't have to watch my weight, it was one of my biggest insecurities like growing up, like how thin I was, and I would always try to eat. I think for everyone that's like, like overweight and stuff like that, like how they see that to be like maybe not ideal. I would see my figure in a sense to be not ideal because I would try to eat a lot and everyone was much bigger, especially in high school. I was 4'11" my freshman year in high school. I didn't grow till like my senior year. I was like 5'2", like my sophomore year, maybe like 5'4" to 5'6" my junior year, and then I hit 6 feet my senior year. But yeah, I mean, I think as it's very like opinionated where people just think that like, okay, maybe people that are a little bit more overweight are the ones that get frowned upon. I think it goes, there's two sides of that spectrum. So I think just finding people that what really helped me out, and I know this has nothing to do with trading, but for all those that may be like struggling and stuff like that, yeah. So ectomorph is what they labeled me as. But there's these guys that when I started going to the gym, I think my senior year in high school, he actually labeled me as an ectomorph, and he just gave me the confidence to like, just do it consistently, right? And I think that's something or a quality that I have that's very well. I knew it was going to take like years for me to like slowly like put on weight and stuff like that. But again, if you feel like you're skinny or maybe if you want to, I think shed a couple pounds, then I think the biggest thing is just consistency. I mean, it wasn't a huge focus for me. I was never like too like, I mean, it was obviously made aware to me like how thin I was, but like it wasn't like a huge focus. Like my work was my main focus. So it was just something that I worked on consistently. And now, like, 4 or 5 years later, I feel fine. So, but Yeah, I think that's with everything that I've been able to do well in life, and even just doing, it's just consistency. So, buying and reselling cars, just consistently never gave up. Was always doing it, surrounding myself with people that were successful in it. So it makes sense on why we could do it. When it came down to trading, very consistent, just never gave up. Discouraged myself a lot in the very beginning because of the money that I lost. I had a huge passion for it. So again, that's why I always say, if you don't have a passion for the stock market, then maybe it's not for you. But if you have a passion for it, and you're discouraging yourself because of how much money you're losing, then remove that monetary aspect out of it. Either trade with a lot less money or paper trade. And that really helped me focus much more on the fundamentals, the technicals, and the actual trading aspect. And then the last thing is like, real estate. The only reason I was successful in it was because I had a team of, a lender and an agent that really worked with me, and were professionals in this market. So again, just surround yourself with those that are successful in that market and never give up, right? Manage your risk along the way and never give up. So, yeah. Did you go back to paper trading after that loss? It's not that I went back to paper trading, is that I didn't initially start with paper trading. So that was the frustrating part. Ooh, JNUG just popped above. Yeah, that was the most like frustrating part. Oh, there it goes. /NG definitely selling off. So again, and I want you guys to know, for /NG, this did not have to go like this. There's many times where it shows signs of an uptrend, it consolidates, and then still pushes up. So we have to understand, like, how things work. So obviously it worked out according to our plan this time. But then this is the thing. This is the thing and it's really difficult for me. I know you guys are much more knowledgeable than a lot of the people that follow me on YouTube, and that's why I feel comfortable telling you guys. Just because you have a plan and just because you prepared or planned out your success, it does not mean that it has to go according to your plan, right? You're planning out something because of the risk that's involved. So with that understanding, it makes sense on why if it doesn't go according to plan, you always have to manage your risk, cut losses quick or move on, right? When there's a break of pattern. And that's something that even myself, I still have to work on, right? As time goes on. And I just want to make sure that we all understand that as we continue to do this, and no matter how much we prepare for it, no matter how much we plan for it, when people's like, oh my God, I planned out my entire trade. I thought, it was going according to plan, all this stuff, great. You just need to know that it doesn't always need to go according to your plan. I want you guys to know when I took my DGAS position right now I'm back up. So I'm going to lock in profits, and I might sell a little bit too early, but I really don't care. The reason why is, let me just, yeah, I'm out. So 151, locked in profits, walked away with $399.30. I'm done. Like, I made the biggest mistake. I could have been up well over $1,000 just on this position right now. If I would have not taken the position where I did, and it would have sold off this consolidation phase that we all identified, right, from here to here, let's say 2.6%, that's almost 3%. So, and 2 to 3% is my daily goal. That will get me to the $1,000. If I'm trading with, $30,000, that will get me nearly to my $1,000 goal. And that could have easily done that for me. And that was my biggest mistake for the day. I didn't cut losses quick enough. Yes, it recovered, and I was trading something that was actively trending up, and that's a key component. So let's make sure that we note that. Yeah, so, oh wow. And again, it's just now I have to acknowledge that it's a little bit more on the overbought side and that it's due for a pullback, right? So let's just make sure that we're patient on this. But one of the biggest things was, you know, um, and this is the most difficult part for me, is that I had FOMO, right? I saw that it was actively pushing up and I was like, wow, it continues to break every resistance level. I have to understand, right? And everyone does that, like even it pushing up right now, like it's super overextended and it's, it's already pushed up so much that it's going to be due for a pullback, and it's not a good deal. I just have to realize that I'm not already invested in it, and it doesn't make sense on why to give back all my profits. So one thing that I can do is, again, just the first thing is focus on a good deal. Focus on a good deal. Second, make sure that it's actively trending up. And third is just make sure that you have and manage your plan or your risk along the way. It would have been a much nicer trade. It would have been a much smoother trade if I would have, I traded it along the way or I locked in profits right away, then it pushed up, right? When it sold off, again, we saw that support, that consolidation. We saw the rejection on /NG. You guys all saw that, right? So /NG getting rejected by that middle VWAP. And then it got rejected, showing signs of a descending pattern. Then DGAS shoots up. Again, it would have made sense on even Y at the break above the middle VWAP, and then where it peaked out, even around 1560. Regardless of how high it goes up, 2 to 2.5. Yes, you can tell yourself why. You could have bought at the very bottom, could have bought at the very top. Yes, you can try to say that, but realistically, you probably would have sold. I would have sold at probably where I sold. I would have sold at previous highs, 1550. And it probably would have bought when it broke above the middle VWAP. Those are indicators that would have influenced me to buy. So with that, it's about 1.84%, and that's what I missed out on. So definitely doesn't feel good. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I definitely saw that it was continuing to show signs of an uptrend. But due to FOMO, right, it's one of the biggest killers of accounts. So and also there's 13 minutes until this natural gas report comes out, and I'm up $563.80 on the day. So I already hit my daily goal. I want to make sure that I don't give back my profits, right? So I'm at my daily goal. And now all I want to focus on throughout the entire day is if something is actively trending up, and if something is and the opportunity cost is worth it, then great. TNDM, yes, it's actively trending up, but it's also a little bit more on the overbought side. So is it really something that I want to risk, right? Look at the MACD, look at the RSI, look how overbought it is. Probably not right now, right? But knowing that the natural gas report is coming out, one of these are going to sell off 2.5%. And regardless of what happens, DGAS is due for a pullback. I think we could all acknowledge that. So I'm just going to wait for the natural gas, that the natural gas report is going to come out in about 12 minutes. That's why I felt so encouraged just to lock in profits. I didn't want to bag hold, nothing like that, right? So I'm just going to, let it do its thing, and I'm just going to stay away from it right now and see which one sells off, see if I see value in it, and then maybe I could see a good dip buy opportunity. So there we go, 48.45, nice little pop up, 48.55, nice little pop up. Ooh, 48.62, this is for UWT. So it's showing signs of a descending pattern, and this is one thing that I want to keep a very close eye on. So remember we talked about the reversal confirmation. So it's been getting rejected by this middle VWAP. Middle VWAP, we can visualize it as a resistance, right? Bottom VWAP as a support. So now that it broke above the middle VWAP, what is it? And I'm asking you guys, and if you can participate, I would really, encourage you, even if you don't normally. Again, there's no dumb answers. This is all learning experience, right? When it comes down to, what we would need, what I would like for it to happen. So what is it that would validate this as a potential reversal? Pullback confirmation. Define that. Pullback confirmation. What do you mean pullback? So if the middle VWAP right now is a resistance and the bottom VWAP right now is a support, what is a pullback confirmation? Pullback, push up, and then pull back again. Okay? So making higher highs. So middle VWAP as support. Exactly. So Doc Holiday, right? It bounces off the middle VWAP. If right now the resistance is the middle VWAP and then it pushes up, some people right away will try to buy in as it pushes up. Oh my God, I'm going to buy it. 4861, right? But then they don't expect the pullback confirmation. And the crazy part about this is it doesn't even need to confirm it. It could pull back and then continue to sell off. How many of you guys have ever done that? You don't wait for the pullback confirmation. You buy at the very top. I know I've done it. You buy at the very top. It pulls back. You're like, oh my God, it has to bounce, and then just continues to sell off. It never even went through the pullback confirmation. So there's 3 steps. Yes, it pushes up, great, potential confirmation. It pulls back. Now we wait for the bounce. But a lot of people sometimes don't. They just, buy right in, and then it continues to sell off. So again, the whole point of the pullback confirmation is to confirm that, it is showing signs of a reversal. If something has previously acted as a resistance, right, and then it breaks above it, it only validates it as a support if it bounces on it, right? And then it continues to make either higher highs or it continues to push up and stuff like that. So yeah, it's something that, like, regardless if you've done it before or not, it has to do with FOMO, which has to do with emotions, which is, we're human, we're all emotional, right? And it makes sense on why we've done that. Especially if you didn't understand maybe the technicals nor fundamentals at an early stage, which a majority of us did not. It's something that we had to learn from experience, and now a lot of us are becoming aware of, like, wow, that's a very avoidable mistake that I could have made. So if that's something that you do very often, then maybe write it down on a piece of paper and be like, hey, this is something that I've done before. Maybe it's something that I might want to look out for, and yeah, maybe it might be worth it. So a lot of people right now, I bet you, are like very itchy to, like, pull the trigger and buy right now. 100%. It's showing signs of an uptrend. It could 100% push up without pulling back. It's something that has happened before. But the principle of you getting in for a good deal, this is not a good deal. And if you focus more of the times that you take a position to buy in right away without the pullback confirmation, a majority of the time it will pull back and then continue to sell off, right? So I would rather be more selective and be more patient for a certain stock to meet my criteria before I continue to invest in it. So a pullback confirmation, waiting for that to perform. And if it doesn't end up pulling back and just continues to uptrend, well then, hey, it just didn't perform according to my plan, and that's why I didn't trade it, and that's okay. Again, we have opportunity every single day. Let's just make sure that the stock plays according to our plan and not its own. And that's, I think, the biggest. Just make sure that you have control of the situation. Right? If it continues to push up and you're like, oh my God, I have to buy in. Okay, I'm going to buy. You're following it. You're chasing it. And you're trading according to, the market makers. So I would just be extremely selective with what you choose to trade and make sure that you're the one in control. And there's the pullback. So again, it's just a pullback, no pullback confirmation though. Was that a pretty good explanation, do you think? Do you think I explained myself pretty well on that? /GC shot up again, and again it pulled back and then it shot right back up. So again, it makes sense. It's bullish on the day. Now it's super overextended, so it doesn't mean that I would trade JDST or anything like that. So very good explanation. How do you pronounce your name? What is it? Saishia? That's such a unique name. I like it. What's going on, Alan? Oh, Josh, what's going on? Oh, super happy to hear that you guys like it. You explained yourself, Paul. Keys. Okay, sweet. Nice little nickname. All right. TNDM with that pullback. Look at that pullback. This might be something, right? It's showing signs of an uptrend pattern intraday. And now, again, so many people in the first 30 minutes are so willing to, like, pull the trigger, right? First 30 minutes to an hour, but don't understand the direction in which it's moving. Why do I feel sometimes comfortable? Can you guys tell me, why do I sometimes feel comfortable trading ETFs and not futures? Why do I sometimes feel comfortable trading ETFs and not normal stocks right as the market opens? Why would I feel comfortable taking a position right away as I'm not giving any data of that specific ETF rather than trading a stock? I want to see if someone can actually identify it. So I think direction is very important, understanding if it's showing signs of an uptrend or a downtrend that day. And if you see yourself make a majority of those mistakes in the very beginning of the market open, then maybe wait a little bit longer to understand more direction in which it's headed, right? 100%, there you go. Futures, did anyone else say it? So why do I feel comfortable taking a position on an ETF? Because I could see the future, which trades the entire day, right? Throughout all night, and it gives me a better understanding of its direction, right? So I have more data to analyze, which then I can correlate on over to what direction this ETF is going to be heading. I can't do that for these stocks unless I can trade during pre-market hours, but a majority of these stocks don't have much movement, right? So no, not like the future, but like futures, like the, oh my God. like /CL/NG. It's because I can collect and analyze that data, and it makes sense on how I can then interpret that to like, okay, well, it makes sense on then why I wanted it, right away. I talked about I saw value in DGAS, I saw value in JNUG, right? When someone said, hey, do you think JNUG is good for the day? Look at the future. Probably not, but you can't really do that with stocks. And if, again, realize this about yourself. It's all about self-realization, right? And fixing it if you see this to be a mistake. How many times have you taken a position in hope that whatever stock that you are trading continues to go up, but it doesn't? But it's because you wanted to understand its, pre-market direction that you thought you were going to make sense of that. But now, even just with one simple hour of letting TNDM trade, an example, not something for you to actually trade. There we go, one simple hour. And now I understand that TNDM today is showing signs of it being a little bit more bullish in between the middle and top VWAP. Something that it has not done, right? So if we could have done this, again, waited 1 hour almost every single day, we could have avoided this loss. I think that's all something that we could make sense of. So right now we're getting the consolidation from TNDM. So I'm just going to set my alert. The MACD looks good. The RSI looks good. Everything looks good. I like how trading between the middle and top VWAP. Everything looks good. Now I wanted to push out, pull back, make higher highs and stuff like that, and that's something that we could follow up with. 3 minutes until the natural gas report comes out. TNDM, that punk. It's looking good. Okay, so again, DGAS is showing signs of it being bullish on the day. We've talked about this. Again, it's a little bit on the overbought side. You could easily identify that. The natural gas report comes out in less than 3 minutes. It's up to you on what you guys want to do. I'm not here to tell anybody. I would lock in profits, and that's all I could preach, right? You can see that it's overextended. Yes, it can shoot up 2.5% as quick as it could shoot down 2.5%. So just ask yourself, what is it worth it? What is it worth? If you lose 2.5% of whatever your position size in right now, regardless of which way it's going to go, is it going to discourage you? And is that something that is worth the risk of discouraging yourself and never wanting to invest in the stock market or not be as motivated to where then you can cut losses here and again, just focus on what you could have done better, months and years down the road. So just focus on thinking about long-term, that the extra 2.5% isn't really going to matter. It's the principle and the structure and the consistency and the actions that you take that really do matter, that will lead to your overall success, right? There we go, TNDM pushing up. Let's see it. Let's see which way it's going to be headed. So again, if natural gas sells off, that means that, it's in favor of DGAS. If natural gas pushes up, it's in favor of UGAS. Just to let you guys know, there's 30 seconds left, and DGAS is bullish on the day. So regardless if DGAS sells off 2.5%, it will most likely recover based on previous patterns in my experience trading. So again, I would just say lock it in or just cut it here, and then we could revisit it after this. But let's see. 210. Sell off. DGAS shot up. There we go. Okay. Congrats to all those in DGAS. DGAS, again, super overextended. It makes sense on why you would lock in profits. It's going to try to correct itself and pull back down. So congrats to all of you that are, first of all, are in DGAS. But just understand that, again, it could have gone the other way. As quick as it shot up, yes, you're happy, just lock in profits. So I'm going to end the live stream here. I really appreciate your guys' time. I don't know how many of you guys enjoyed this live stream, maybe a little bit more than the other ones. But I had a really fun time trading today. We were able to hit my daily goal. You guys saw it all happen. We went through the natural gas report, and I think we went through a lot of emotions. We explained and gave a lot of examples. Diaz is absolutely killing it right now. Super, super nice shot up. So I think today's live stream was one of the best, not only with interaction, not only with our trades, but overall explanations and breakdowns. You guys don't have to give this video a thumbs up. I mean, only the people that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit can see it. But I just wanted to tell you guys thank you again for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I would not be able to be so excited about trading and have this interaction, just this whole community, if it wasn't for you guys. So regardless of how minute you might think that you are in Learn, Plan, Profit, and maybe that's why you don't comment, I want to let you know that every comment means so much, not only to myself, but to all the people that are just getting started. And if you're someone that's struggling right now, again, in making it happen within the stock market, I know that there's someone within the group that can not only uplift you, but also relate to you. And that's why I think you should just, speak up and let us just try to work with you. Even if you want to direct message me privately, all power to you. I can get you in contact, and keep you anonymous with someone that could even spend a little bit more time with you, in working and refining certain things out. So really do appreciate you guys' time. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. Let's keep it simple. Let's lock in profits, and let's just focus on whatever is actively trending up. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Thursday. And like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team. Boom.